My favorite project that we did this year was the creative writing project in math. And the students had the choice of making a comic book. They could write a song. Most of them wrote rap songs. They could write a short story, which they would have to, read or exhibit wherever they like. And those are the three options. Or a poem, actually, fourth option. And yeah, that was my favorite project that I had them do this year.
What inspired you to create this project?
Now, I've always thought that I've always wanted my students to write in math, and it sounds kind of counterintuitive, but I always wanted to get them explaining their thinking in words, and whether they're verbalizing it or writing it, so I thought that making a project out of it would be something cool where they didn't know they were really writing in math, and they could do it in a fun way.
What was the biggest challenge in creating this project?
The biggest challenge, I think, was trying to figure out, checkpoints or what students would be required to do. That was, because they're doing different mediums, either comic book or something like that, making universal requirements that everyone should meet.
What was the biggest challenge during the project?
I think the biggest challenge was a lot of students needed help writing, and I had a hard time getting around to everyone. And so I think next time I'll put them in groups, because I let some of them work alone. And it was just, there wasn't enough of me to go around.
How did you ensure that all the students got their work done?
I gave them a sheet, and it had a checklist. So it had task 1, task 2, task 3, task 4, and then the dates that the tasks were due. And they couldn't move on to the next task until they had my initials on their actual sheet. So they knew exactly what was expected of them, and then on those days, I would just go around and check in with everyone.
How did you assess your students?
Well, the students were actually allowed to exhibit. They could exhibit on the internet, they could exhibit in the classroom, they could exhibit for, their parents, or they could, some of them who wrote children's books walked over to the elementary school. And so we had feedback forms for each place that they exhibited, and that was how they were assessed. Mathematically, they were assessed by their lyrics or the words or the mathematical content, which I read through every group's mathematical content.
For being a first-year teacher here, what was your first impression of the school? How did you adjust to how the high-tech high system works? That sort of.
So I definitely know that being a first-year teacher is hard anywhere. And I do believe that it's especially hard here because we expect a lot of our teachers, and we also expect a lot of our students. And so I think making sure I was assimilating myself into the community and taking on the role that I knew was expected of me was difficult at first. You have advisory, you have X block, you have to teach classes, you have to, go do home visits. It was a lot of things, and I was having a hard time adjusting to doing everything, and I wasn't sleeping very much.